Yesterday we had a nice talk about automatic healing with Ansible, and in one of the slides, Red Hat's new tool, Event-Driven Ansible, was mentioned. And some weeks ago, I had the pleasure to test it out, to work with it, and I'd like to tell you about it. My name is Sebastian Gumprich. I work at T-Systems Multimedia Solutions GmbH. I'm a systems architect there, so I have lots of time to try out these cool new tools, and that's what I did. What is Event-Driven Ansible? According to Red Hat, it's a new way to enhance and expand automation. It improves IT speed and agility while enabling consistency and resilience. So very nice sounding words. It's basically if this, then that for sysadmins. So it's maybe easier. How does it work? In Ansible, you write playbooks. In Event-Driven Ansible, you additionally write rulebooks. And these rulebooks define when your playbooks will be executed, basically. You have to define some things there, and one of these things are sources, where the events come from. And this can be webhooks, an alert manager, URLs, files, and other stuff. Red Hat is working hard to bring some more sources into this ecosystem. Then you also define rules, and rules define what should happen and when it should happen. The what is defined with actions, and the when will be conditions. And there's already support for many conditions. For example, the alerts from an alert manager, an unreachable website, newly created files or changed files on a file system, or simple webhook messages you can receive. And based on these conditions, you can then execute different actions. And I guess the most common action will be to actually run an Ansible playbook, but you can also just run single modules, set effect, or do everything of these things together. So you have the choice. And here you can see a rulebook, how it's defined. It looks basically like an Ansible playbook. I defined a webhook there that listens on port 5000, a condition that waits for a specific message, and an action that will be triggered when the message is received. I asked myself, then, why do all this? Ansible itself is push-based. You just execute a playbook and it changes things somewhere in your cloud or somewhere, yeah. Event-driven Ansible is, like the name suggests, event-driven, and it should help you to automatically fix or troubleshoot your problems that you have. So, for example, your Isinga creates an alert. Event-driven Ansible can listen on this and then execute some playbook to reboot servers or troubleshoot things or collect information. How to use it? Installation is simple. According to the official docs, you install Java, Maven, Python, Ansible rulebook, and some more stuff, and then it just works. And it really does. It really does. I showed you the rulebook. You also, of course, need some simple playbook and an inventory file. I just have a really simple inventory with localhost and a playbook that just prints a debug message to test it. And when you run it, the command is Ansible rulebook. You pass the rulebook file I showed you. You pass the inventory. You press enter, and then the rulebook starts a little web server listening on port 5000 and waiting for incoming webhooks. And that's what I'm doing then. I just use curl to push a message to the webhook. And when event-driven Ansible receives this message, then the condition is triggered and an action is executed. And in this case, my debug playbook is run. The cool thing, I thought, these playbooks are loaded dynamically, so you can change them anytime, and yeah, you don't have to restart any of these rulebook processes. But if you want to change those rulebooks, you then have to restart, of course, the process. If you know Ansible, you probably know AWX or Tower or whatever it's called right now, I don't know. Event-driven Ansible has something similar. It's called Event-driven Ansible Server. Great name, I know. And it's basically a nice web UI and a REST API that Red Hat provides. And with it, you can take a look at your rulebooks, edit them, change them, add new ones. Basically, all the stuff you can do on the command line, but with a nice web UI. And yeah, is it production ready? no, not yet. It's still in early development, but it's already really cool. Everything I tried to show you in 5 minutes already works. You can run playbooks, the conditions, actions, everything works, but it has issues. So yeah, I'd keep a tab on it. And if anyone wants to talk about it, or automation, or Ansible in general, feel free to talk to me. Thanks.
Yourself